Well, okay. What's good, man? It's your boy YungLamboDeezy, and you're now kicking it with the kickback. Let's get it. Well, okay.
Welcome back to Kicking It with the Kickback. I'm your host, Brian. I got my boy, YungLamboDeezy.
Well, okay. What's good, man?
You know me, man?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they don't know who you are, let them know who you are.
Well, my name YungLamboDeezy, a.k.a. Lambo, a.k.a. Young Lambo, you know what I mean? And, yeah, I'm known for Delaware rap and been doing this for a while now. Most popular for songs like Teach Me How to Swag and Delaware Two-Step, Delaware Bounce. You know, I love the kickback. I love shoes. So when I got that phone call, man, do an interview, I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Now we're gonna start with shoes. How many pair of shoes you got right now?
Oh, god damn.
You come down here at least once a week.
Yeah, oh man, shoo. Man, it's probably just this wall. When I go, like, literally go get my shoes, it's like going through Foot Locker, like, all right, hold on. Not bragging or nothing, but it's literally like, I don't know which shoe. Like, these, I probably wore these, like, once or twice, you know what I mean? So,
11 lows.
If I had to, I would say, like, maybe 50 pairs, though.
All right, out of your whole shoe collection, most expensive sneak you got?
Oh, god damn, you hit me. Are we talking about retail or resale?
Resale.
Off the top of the dome, I would say the Wave Runner 700s.
Mm-hmm. Would that be your favorite pair of Yeezys, or you got another favorite pair of sneakers? All right, well, let's just get to that question. Favorite pair of sneakers you own? Whole collection, pick one.
So for me, I would just have to probably say my favorite shoe. Man, my favorite shoe gotta be the Yeezys. Black Oreos. It's just so comfortable. It goes with everything.
You know, growing up, before we had our own bread, you know, parents was getting us sneaks and stuff like that and clothes. What's the worst pair of sneaks you ever owned?
Woo! See, as a kid, I was a little dirt bomb. And I used to go to the outlets. Like, my mom used to take me to the outlets, like, in school.
Cowtown?
No, I never Cowtown.
Nah.
I ain't gonna lie. Sneaker-wise, I never Cowtowned it. But you say worst shoes?
Worst pair of shoes you had to wear just because you ain't buying and Mom Dukes is not taking them back.
Oh, man. Probably them Felines, but not the Felines like today's. I'm talking about, like, the back of the day, just regular Felines when you couldn't get the Air Ones type of Johns. But I don't know. Now they'd be probably considered hot with this generation. But back in the day, it was like, yo, you got the Forever I Love Atlanta's on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yo, facts, though. Mm-hmm. So, going into the music, man, we're going to get to know a little bit more about you. Like, where you from? Where you come from?
They call it Newcastle Avenue, but if you put in your address, it's still Wilmington. So, I mean, I'm from Dunleaf.
Cash Ave.
Route 9, yup, all the way, OG style, you feel me?
I used to live out Route 9 when I first moved back.
Yeah. It's getting better. Shouts out to Dunleaf. Shouts out to Dunleaf. You know what I mean?
Speaking of the name YungLamboDeezy.
Yup.
How you come up with that name? Favorite car?
Favorite car, thank you. Favorite car, yup, favorite car. And my brother, his name Donovan. So when I was a young boy, you know, everybody be like, oh, you Donovan, little brother. Which switched to people be like, oh, you Deezy, little Deezy, that's little Deezy. Which switched to people like, yo, that's Young Deezy. And then my favorite car was a Lamborghini, so I was like, YungLamboDeezy, and just stuck with it, you know what I mean?
Now, with all these high-priced cars out now, Lamborghini still your favorite car?
Still my favorite until once I get the Lamborghini, then I'm going to switch my name to another car I want. And keep it going. Uh-huh.
All right, now speaking of rapping, how'd you get into making music and doing what you do now? Like, where did it start for you?
When I was a kid, my mom, she bought me a radio. It was crazy because I would play like music on the Nintendo 64 or something like that, like play a video game, and the Nintendo 64 had like where you could play like the little soundtracks or whatever. So I would play that in the background, and then I would press record on the radio and just rap into it and actually catch everything. And I just got into it from there. And then my cousin, he was in the LL Cool J and all that. My cousin Kenny, rest in peace, and he would just teach me how to rap, and we would go back and forth, and he would just, I don't know, he would just teach me how to, I love the whole thinking of the next word type of thing, so it was like a game to me, you know what I mean?
Like me personally, I never liked reading and writing in school, but how much of that goes into making music? Like, how you ever felt about it?
A lot, because for me, like, as far as, if I knew math, like, as far as, like, adding and subtracting, that's all I cared about, but when it came to English, I love to write stories. I always was real good in English class, which was weird because my teachers always tried to put me in like slow classes. But I'm like, yo, I got an A in English, but I'm failing like every other subject.
Yeah.
But I just loved my words, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So speaking of teaching you how to rap and teaching you how to do everything else you do, man, we're going to take it back when you taught us all how to swag, man. If they don't know what swagging is, give them a little brief of what swagging is.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like, you know, it's like a grind type of thing, but it's more of a bop to it, you know what I mean? So it's a dance that Delaware does. They call it the swag, 302 swag, Delaware swag, and, you know, it's all different type of names for it, you know what I mean? But in Delaware, it's not just a dance, it's a movement, you know what I mean? So
for that song really blew up on you. You got like 180K on YouTube?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you made that song, like, what was your thought process going into it? Like,
so when I was thinking about doing that track, the dude Mousy, Nico, he's on the song. He's like, "What you want, shorty? Tell me what you want." That's him, and he was like, "Yo, I think we should do a song about swag." And now what people don't really know is swag was dying out at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, swag was actually like dying out. So when he was like, "Yo, dude, teach me how to swag track," I'm like, man, swag niggas ain't swagging no more. Why would I do that? He's like, everybody doing like, teach me how to jerk, teach me how to this. Yeah. Delaware needs something, you know what I mean? So I went to the studio, made a beat. I wasn't even thinking about teaching me how to swag, but when I heard the beat, that's all that kept coming to my head. I didn't expect it to be as big as it did, especially for my state, you know what I mean? To still be known for it for this very day. I didn't expect that.
This we going on 10 years now?
Yeah, so August 10th will be the 10th year anniversary of Teach Me How to Swag.
How that make you feel?
It made me feel good, but it also just had me ready to drop a new project, and it remotivates me, and to know that it's still lingering around, and I'll still go to parties, or people will still recognize me and still show love, or even the new wave of cats that I'm a fan of, like, yo, Deezy, and I'm like, oh shit, no, you motherfucker, you that nigga, you know what I'm saying? So it's dope for it to be like that. It's a blessing for real. It's a blessing because all I did was make the song. Wherever it went, that was just God. You know what I'm saying? That was God.
So even like still to this day, because you know I DJ, so like when people hear that song, you know this is Delaware.
Right.
Like, we our own little small little state on the East Coast. We always get mistaken for Philly.
Right.
All that other stuff.
Right.
But when you hear that song, you know this is Delaware. Like if I go to a club in Philly and DJ and I play that song, I'm pretty sure everybody from Delaware will come to the dance.
Yeah, and that's what we was doing when. That's really what, like, not just Teach Me How to Swag, other songs that I made. I always wanted people to get that feel of Delaware. Like, I wanted you to be proud of being from Delaware. Like, I seen somebody put up a post and say Delaware is the most underrated state. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Delaware is what Atlanta used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much talent here, but we keep telling stories about what's going on in Chirac, what's going on in New York City, what's going on in Jamaica. Shouts out to them places. But let's get Delaware on the map first. Let's talk about what's going on here, because we got a real movement going on. And, you know, if I want to hear some Chirac music, I'll listen to Chief Keef and Little Reese. And I don't need a Delaware artist to tell me what's going on in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just about be proud of where you from. You know what I mean? We from here. We born here. We bred it here. You know what I mean? So rep that. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what I wanted Teach Me How to Swag to do. And I'm glad that's what it did. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
So moving on. We're going to go with a couple artists who inspire you. Could be today, could be your past. Let's start with your past. Who inspired you growing up to get into music?
My the cuss?
Say what you want.
Motherfucking Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Weezy F Baby. You know, definitely want to give him his props. The GOAT, Jay-Z. You know, even Delaware, Shiz Nitty. I loved how Shiz Nitty was repping Delaware. Honestly, I'm going to say some crazy stuff like Wiz Khalifa, Lil B, the bass guy. He definitely was one of my...
See, for the youngest, they won't know that era.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm sure of my age.
I mean, I'm only 20. I'm about to be 23. But
okay.
I know, like, that was what we listened to in middle school and freshman year.
Yeah,
Wiz Khalifa,
like,
the influences that they had on music at that time was totally different.
It was totally different.
It's the same as what the new age artists got going on today. Exactly.
So. Even like Soulja Boy, I loved his grind. I loved the way he worked social media. It was crazy. So,
but see, you say that because Soulja Boy was the start for all the social media.
Right.
Not really the start, but probably the first to blow up.
Exactly.
Social media, dancing to a rap song.
Exactly.
But people make fun of Soulja Boy because he's Soulja Boy.
I mean, nah. I think like when you talk about the next Jay-Z's and the next, you got to look at Soulja Boy and his whole hustling mind frame because for what he did with social media, he don't just got new cats doing it. I mean, you got the Beyoncés and everybody else also still trying to figure out how the Soulja Boy do what he did with his platform. Now, back in the day, I think only Soulja Boy had a MySpace. Now every artist has to have a Instagram. You have to have a Facebook. You have to, where it wasn't like that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just had to be nice. You know what I mean? Now you got to have at least like 80K followers on Instagram for anybody to even look at you or think you dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So moving on, we're gonna go with who's some newer artists you listen to today, locally, popular. Who's some new artists today that influence you?
I'm a big fan of Quad. Is it Quad D? Quad
Diesel?
Yeah. I've been watching him a lot. You know, not trying to be on his dick or nothing. Shouts out Quad D, but
nah, he's hard.
He's hard, yeah. And that's the thing. Like back in the day, like it was like, yo, I like this song from this Delaware cat. But these new artists coming from Delaware, it's like I could really bump them. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, like then I like run into somebody else. I think it was a guy, he called himself like the Fresh Prince or like Joey.
Yoey, my boy Yoey.
Yoey, yeah, I like Yoey, T Tsunami. And see, that's crazy. When I get home, they be popping right up. Ken Master, of course. Yeah, man, I love the new wave that's coming out for real. I love the new sound and everything like that. It make me want to step my game up too. You know what I mean?
Would you collab with any of these artists? Like,
yeah. I would love to, especially me, because you know, like I don't really know, like with these, it's a lot of new cats coming up that I'll run into that still making swag music. Like these new, it's crazy that the swag music didn't die because new generation are still making the music. It's still swag and parties going on. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know. But as far as like when I was younger, which a lot of people forget, I was a kid like when I made them songs. And
how old was you?
Shit, I was
high
probably
school?
high school, yeah. So I was like literally, it was like the reason why I was making them party songs was not just because I liked making them, but I'm from the hood too, like I said. So I could speak that. I wanted to rap that hood shit for real. But the OGs was like, it's not good for your brand. You know what I mean? And now you got these young boys coming out that's rapping this hard shit that I'm into. Like, you know what I'm saying? And now this is a chance for me to be like, hey, I could get on a track with Quaddy, and I love to switch up my voice and do that whole little, you know what I mean, some mumbling shit, or fuck with Kenny, or fuck with, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, I would love to, you know, collaborate with people, and I think that's just going to make me better, them better, and we just bounce ideas off each other, you know what I'm saying?
So speaking of collabing, we're going to throw you a little curveball right now. Phone ring, your manager. You got a manager?
Yeah.
Manager call you and say, you got 3 free features from whoever you want in the world, dead or alive.
Whew.
Who you calling?
3. You got me feel like it's real. 3 features, dead or alive. You know, through the COVID, I was really trying to reach out to Weezy, see if he had some discount. So, definitely Lil Wayne. I gotta get out my system. I gotta work with the bass guy, man. I gotta get on there and say whatever I want to say. Like, I gotta get whoop, you know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
I just remember freshman year.
Yeah, I just gotta do a track with the bass guy one time. And I would have to say Uzi, Lil Uzi right now. I've been bumping Lil Uzi a lot. Now, if I can add in one more, of course, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, something like that. But definitely, I want to go with people that got that different swag to them. You know what I'm saying?
Just to wrap it up, man, what can we expect next from YungLamboDeezy? Got that Lambo coming soon?
That Lambo's coming soon. and Relly Kiss, you can catch me in a Relly Kiss movie. Me and Relly.
You act too?
I'm getting in it. I've been jumping in it. It was an opportunity that came my way. I'm working on my new, trying to think if I want to do an EP or album, Delaware Legend 2.0, with a song I just did with Hot Sizzle. Shouts out Mr. Hot Sizzle. Mr. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. What else? And just check out a different swag from me. Drill music. I'm doing a lot of drill music. Still doing my swag stuff, but just want to take it there to a different level. Really showcase you, like, yo, I can keep up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Reggae type music as well. That Drake reggae type sound. So I'm just playing with sounds right now. Getting in the studio, melodies, different things like that. But still trying to stay down with my true fan core base, which is of course this Delaware swag movement, and keeping that going as well. So.
So even like when you go out in public, like, man, how does it feel to be recognized?
So when I was younger, when Teach Me How to Swag drop, I didn't see it coming, like, at all. Like, just be in the mall, kicking it, then somebody be like, didn't you make Teach Me How to Swag? I be like, yeah, I did. Next thing you know, somebody tap me on the back of my shoulder, ask me for an autograph, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then next thing you know, somebody else coming. Next thing you know, we bucking out, they chasing after me. I'm like, hey, Teach Me How to Swag. I'm like, yo. So, you know what I mean? So it was, when I was young, I loved it, but then it got, like, kind of scary, like, you know what I'm saying? Because now you got the haters and you trying, you know what I'm saying? But now being older, you know, when people approach me, it's more like a love, you know what I mean? More like a, what's up, D's? Like, I feel like for like back in the day, you know, like, not trying to brag, but it seemed like chicks was just trying to get a baby up out of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, it's like, you come to me now, like, I can give you some knowledge. I can tell you what to work on. What you should be promoting, what your brand should look like. Like, I'm more than just a come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no easy come up. Don't try to look at me and be like I'm some easy lick. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just, you know what I mean? Like, because same way you hit me up for the interview, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way, like, if people approach me now, like, you ain't got to approach me on no fan groupie. If you just be like, yo, I fuck with your shit, or back in the day, you know, because that's all I was trying to do was just make timeless music. Like, I want you to think about Teach Me That Swag. Be like, yo, in middle school, I was doing this, or when I was in high school, that's why I want to be that print in your, not that print in your mind, but I want my songs to be like the percolator. When, you know what I mean? When you hear that song, Teach Me How to Swag, you know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to tell you. So
you tell us in the lyrics.
I tell you in the lyrics. I even tell you how to do it. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. You know, I just want, when you approach me, just approach me like a human being. I'm going to approach you like a human being. We just going to go off for there. I don't want to hear that I'm whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want, you know what I mean? So just, not saying I am whack. I'm just saying I don't want to hear, yo, you could have did this, or you should do this, or
so like even when people like saying that, like, if you have heard that before, like, how you handle that? Like,
if people say
you don't really think much about it, or like,
they see people saying whack or something like that.
If somebody say you whack, or just like hate regardless, like, you got a lot of followers on Instagram, so I'm pretty sure everybody not gonna comment.
Yeah. Man, I look at like promotion is promotion. Like, at the end of the day, you heard the track, you went out your way. You know what I'm saying? Get busy if you have a busy schedule. You went out your way to check out my song, and today you know who YungDeezy is. Now, if it was for you, you gonna keep coming back. If it ain't for you, don't come back. My issue is the people that it's not for, who say they ain't for, but they keep coming back and back and back. It's like, yo, you told me last time you don't fuck with me. Like, why you keep coming back then? Like, you know what I'm saying? But now I feel like my music is getting respected within, like Hot Sizzle. He made a Bounce It, Baby, Bounce It, all that. Anytime you with the DJ, you know, she wrote that like a soldier, you know, all that. That's him. We just did a song called Delaware Bounce. Suki Hana, you know her. She's a good friend of mine. She was in my music video before she popped. So I got a lot of friends now that really kiss. I got a lot of friends that are celebrities. So, you know, where back in the day it was like in Delaware, it was really, you know, Delaware. It was like it was just Delaware. Like,
I was talking to somebody about that too. It's like, yeah, we got our basketball players and football stars and stuff like that, but you got other places like Philly and Jersey and stuff like that. We don't really have like no hometown heroes to look up to and stuff like that. Like, everybody all trying to get their own come up.
It's like right now, even with this store, what y'all doing, y'all the hometown heroes. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we just, like, when Teach Me How Swag was coming out, I couldn't just come to a kickback. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to be who we want somebody to be for us. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have the OGs, so now we got to become the OGs. We got to be the Snoop Dogg's. We got to be the Dr. Dre's. We got to be the Kanye West's and the Jay-Z's. We can't wait for the next person to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially for Delaware.
Especially Delaware needs it more than anybody, because these kids need something. They need somebody to look up to. They need somebody to, like in LA, you might walk into Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? Like, here, you ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening unless we book them and bring them here. But, you know, we got to be who we want to be. And I think that's what the Kickback brings. That's what my music is trying to bring. And that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what we got to keep doing and keep pushing, you know.
Well, man, y'all heard it here first, man. YungLamboDeezy.
Well, okay. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all having me, man. For real.
Gotcha, man.
All right, man.
Grab her by the waist, make her throw it back. Truly like my ducky when I swag her like that. Truly looking good, truly looking fly. Take her to my crib, we can party all night.